What if the night sky never whispered about little green visitors? Imagine a childhood memory of staring up at a flickering silhouette, a brave kid on a hill with his hand outstretched toward the unknown. That image leapt onto the silver screen in 1975, when a visionary filmmaker made the universe feel intimate, terrifying, and impossibly close. In a nation still nursing Vietnam wounds and drenched in Cold War paranoia, the idea that something out there could be both wondrous and menacing seemed absurd, until Spielberg painted it in broad, unforgettable strokes. He didn't just give us monsters, he gave us a new way to think about the stars. How did a single director rewrite the American imagination about beings beyond? To answer that, we have to travel back to a time when space was a distant dream and Hollywood was a playground for myths. The mid-70s were a cocktail of anxiety and hope. The Watergate scandal eroded trust in institutions, while the Apollo program had just proved that humans could walk on the moon, still fresh in collective memory. Television news still reported sightings of flying saucers over rural towns, and the popular press ran columns on extraterrestrials like celebrity gossip. Yet mainstream cinema treated aliens as either comic sidekicks, like the Greys in Close Encounters, or as faceless monsters in low-budget B-movies. The audience expected a clear line, Earth versus the other. Into this binary, a young director from Ohio stepped onto a set in California, armed with a camera, a brilliant imagination, and an uncanny ability to tap into the nation's subconscious fears. He understood that the alien myth could be a mirror, reflecting not just scientific curiosity but also deep-seated dread about invasion, loss of control, and the unknown. By the time the scripts were being typed, America was ready for a story that didn't just show monsters, it asked what it meant to be human when faced with the incomprehensible. Spielberg's secret weapon wasn't special effects, it was empathy. He approached the alien encounter not as a spectacle, but as a child's first meeting with the extraordinary. In his breakthrough film, the protagonist, a shy, dog-loving kid, stumbles upon a metallic visitor in a deserted field, and rather than recoiling, he reaches out with wonder. This perspective turned the alien into a catalyst for personal growth, a symbol of the unknown that could ignite courage instead of fear. By placing humanity's reaction within a single household, he transformed a cosmic event into an intimate family drama. The film's pacing, quiet moments of awe punctuated by heart-pounding chase sequences, kept viewers perched on the edge of their seats while never losing sight of the emotional core. The director's choice to blend everyday suburbia with interstellar mystery made the surreal feel plausible, allowing audiences to imagine that the extraordinary could arrive at the curb of any American street. This marriage of the mundane and the magnificent became the template for how the nation would later picture extraterrestrials. Have you ever felt a tiny wonder slip into an ordinary day, changing everything? The most iconic scene unfolds on a misty night, when the boy's flashlight beam slices through fog, revealing a sleek, silver craft lodged in the grass. The camera lingers on the creature's smooth, almost translucent surface, then shifts to the boy's awestruck eyes. Tension comes not from roaring engines but from a subtle, pulsing hum that mimics a heartbeat. As the alien's hatch opens, a cascade of light spills onto the field, washing away darkness as if dawn were breaking on a new world. The boy's instinctive reaction, running home for help, mirrors the audience's own curiosity: will we be welcomed, or will we be hunted? Spielberg lets the suspense breathe, allowing viewers to fill the silence with imagined outcomes. The brilliance lies in refusing to explain the technology. Instead, it lets the unknown linger, urging the mind to wonder about motives, origins, and what such an encounter would mean for a child's sense of safety. When the military swoops in, the film pivots from wonder to an uneasy standoff, forcing the audience to confront the inevitable clash between innocence and institutional authority. This delicate balance set a new standard for how alien stories could explore human vulnerability. Before Spielberg, alien antagonists were often hulking brutes, think reptilian invaders of classic serials, whose sole purpose was destruction. In contrast, the extraterrestrial in Spielberg's tale exhibits a fragile curiosity, mirroring the boy's own yearning for connection. The alien's gentle gestures, like extending a delicate limb to repair a broken toy, invert the typical predator-prey dynamic. This reversal forced viewers to ask, could the other be a student, not a soldier. The film juxtaposes the cold, bureaucratic response of the government with the warm, tentative bond forming between child and creature. The resulting tension feels palpable, turning the narrative into a tug-of-war between fear of the unknown and hope that it might be a friend. By humanizing the alien, Spielberg opened a doorway for future storytellers to explore empathy, coexistence, and the moral implications of first contact. Audiences left theaters with a lingering question: if we ever meet beings from beyond, would we extend a hand, or would we point a weapon? This subtle but powerful shift reshaped the cultural script, making alien encounters feel like possible diplomatic meetings rather than inevitable battles. Few people know that the iconic alien costume was assembled in just 3 days, using surplus parts from a defunct NASA project. The director's insistence on low-light shooting was a gamble. Many studios warned that audiences would struggle to see the creature, but the muted lighting ended up amplifying the mystery, making the alien appear both ethereal and threatening. Another surprising detail: the film's soundtrack relies heavily on a single, 6-note piano motif, designed to echo a child's lullaby, subtly reminding viewers that the whole saga is, at its heart, a story about a kid's first night alone. These behind-the-scenes choices, seemingly minor, contributed to an atmosphere that still feels fresh after nearly half a century, proving that sometimes the smallest decisions leave the biggest impressions. Have you ever noticed how a simple musical phrase can change the entire mood of a scene? The film didn't just entertain, it altered how a generation chatted about the night sky. After its release, backyard stargazers reported more sightings, convinced the government might be hiding friendly visitors in remote fields. Schools incorporated first contact scenarios into science curricula, prompting students to debate ethics, communication protocols, and the potential impact on global politics. Even advertising agencies began using alien imagery to sell everything from breakfast cereal to insurance, banking on the lingering sense of wonder the movie sparked. In everyday conversations, the phrase, "like that alien in the field," became shorthand for describing any moment of awe mixed with fear, cementing the director's vision into the American lexicon. I still recall a summer night spotting a meteor and joking with friends that we were living out our own little field encounter. Many still cling to the belief that cinema portrays extraterrestrials as uniformly menacing, a notion reinforced by blockbuster action films. Spielberg's approach proved the opposite: an alien could be curious, shy, and even compassionate. The myth persists because fear sells tickets, yet the original narrative reminded audiences that the unknown might simply be looking for a friend. By acknowledging this nuance, we can move beyond the binary of invader versus defender and imagine more complex interstellar relationships. What would happen if we treated every unknown encounter with the same cautious curiosity we give a stray puppy? Decades later, technology is catching up with fiction. Private companies now test reusable rockets, and the search for biosignatures on exoplanets accelerates. The next wave of storytelling may blend actual scientific data with the emotional resonance Spielberg pioneered, creating immersive experiences where viewers can simulate diplomatic exchanges with alien delegates. In the next 5 to 10 years, virtual reality could let us walk alongside extraterrestrials in recreated fields, blurring the line between imagination and evidence. If the cultural groundwork laid by that 1975 masterpiece holds true, society will be ready to greet real contact with curiosity instead of fear, transforming the narrative from cinema to reality. From a boy's trembling hand reaching for a silver craft to a nation reshaping its view of the cosmos, the journey shows that a single story can rewrite collective belief. Spielberg didn't just make a movie, he sparked a shift in how America envisions the unknown, turning terror into wonder, isolation into connection. If you found this deep dive into the power of storytelling as fascinating as we did, please hit the like button, share your thoughts on how you picture first contact in the comments, and subscribe for more explorations of moments that changed the world.